Hello, Mathew from Lanjarón Property here with your local property market report for the end of July. What's been happening in the property market locally across Orgiva, Lanjarón, the Alpujarras and the Lecrín Valley? First, let's have a look at the facts and figures across the local markets, and then we can look at some more interesting numbers and how they're affecting this. After that, we can take a look forward to what the rest of the year might hold. First, let's have a look at Orgiva properties. There were 97 available for sale last month with an average asking price of €264,500. This was an average price per square metre of €1,494. Interestingly, this has not moved much since the last quarter. At the end of April, for example, Orgiva properties for sale were at 91 with an average price of €262,900 or around €1,500 per square metre. So prices remain fairly static, but stock levels are up a little bit. This reflects the overall condition of the property market in Orgiva at the moment. There is still good demand for Orgiva properties, and correctly priced property with the right marketing is still selling. Interestingly though, there is a divide in the market at the moment with more than half of these properties priced in excess of €200,000 and 37 of those 91 priced over €300,000. When looking at the number of sales and the time on the market, it becomes clear that many of these properties in this price range have been lingering on the market for much longer than average. We'll look at that in a bit more detail in a moment. But moving on to Lanjarón property, there were 112 properties listed for sale with an average price of €160,000 or around €1,700 per square metre. This is a very significant change over the last quarter when the average price was just over €200,000. So why is this? Well, as always with averages, there can be a number of things that skew the figures, and this is why any calculation of value using square metres as a price is usually quite incorrect, and why no professional agent would rely on this figure. There are currently only 16 properties in excess of €300,000, but nearly half of those for sale are under €100,000. So prices have not really changed very much over the last quarter when adjusting to take this into account. There is still strong activity and demand in particular parts of the market, but there are also a number of properties that are lingering on the market at the higher end and therefore skewing the average figures. What's happened in the property market in Lecrín Valley over the last month? Well, a similar story is shared with Lecrín Valley property. Prices and activity have remained fairly stable over the last quarter, with both available property numbers and prices not really changing too much. For example, in Lecrín, 78% of properties for sale are under €100,000, yet in Pinos de Valle, only 55% of properties are under €100,000, which shows there is a variation across each village in the Lecrín Valley. For example, last month in La Talara, there were only 6 properties for sale with an average price of €120,433. So what's happening in the wider marketplace coming into August when traditionally much of Spain comes to a standstill with annual holidays across almost all industries except tourism and of course real estate? Well, here at Lanjarón Property we've seen a significant increase in inquiries both from Spanish buyers and from our international clients. This has in part been fueled by significant house price growth in many of the mature markets across Northern Europe, the USA, Canada and Australia. Buyers who are planning to retire to the area now have more power in their pocket from these increases, but also due to changes in international currency markets. You can read more about this in our regular currency exchange updates. This is why it's important to fully understand all of the factors affecting the marketplace when preparing your property for sale. Different types and styles of property appeal to different types of buyers, and this can also be affected by current trends in the buyer's home country. There have been some significant shifts in demand over the course of the year so far, particularly relating to Spanish townhouses for sale and for corticos and fincas for sale. I've also been speaking with our global network of partners about demand for properties in Spain, and they're reporting a significant increase in inquiries and demand, especially for good quality and well-presented properties. On the other side of the coin, the demand for reform projects, or the old doer-upper, has slid back in recent months, partly due to the number of horror stories that perpetuate about tackling this sort of project, but also due to demographic changes in the types of buyers who are currently active in the market. These tend to be more inclined to be retiring to the area and want more of a turnkey proposition, where they can still make their own mark on the property, but do not have the hassle of major works. If you're thinking of selling a property in the area or have one for sale that is not selling, then do get in touch for an informal chat about how we can help with this. We're always happy to meet sellers and buyers and offer our advice with total honesty and integrity and absolutely no commitment from yourselves. Look out soon for our series on what legal means in a Spanish house, and don't forget to like our page or subscribe to our channel to be the first to see the latest property news. Thank you for listening. I've been Mathew from Lanjarón Property, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye for now.